Namaste बच्चों, this is Shashi from SST department and today we are going to do chapter 1 of class 7 history tracing thousand years of changes. As you can see, changes does not occur in a day. It is a slow and steady process. Maybe changes may occur when you are getting into interaction with many travelers, many outsiders, maybe your neighbors and so. Now, how does the changes occur? When you see the map given in your book, that is of 1154, made by Al-Idrisi and a cartographer. Now, when I talk about a cartographer is a person who makes map. Earlier, you cannot, these days the maps which you see are printed. Earlier, the maps were not printed, they were made. Who makes them? Named as cartographers. So, maps which are made by the cartographers are presented in your book in figure 1 and figure 2. Accordingly, you can see with the changes in the map, the figure 1 and figure 2, the map 1 and map 2, you can see there are so many old and new terminologies which has been changed. Earlier in the UP area, we call it Kanauj. That starts with word Kyo. And today we call it as Kanauj. That starts with word K. Now you can see changes. These are changes. Now accordingly, when you talk about the changes, we call our country India as Bharat or Hindustan. Term Hindustan has been predicted into different criteria, different categories. For example, when we talk about the word Hindustan, the earlier chronicler Minhas-e-Siraj took Hindustan as an area that is covering Punjab, Haryana and plains of Ganga and Brahmaputra. He considered only this part to be a part of Hindustan. His concept of telling Hindustan covering the political or the geographical border. When we talk about Babur, according to Babur, the area which is covered by Delhi Sultan is Hindustan. Again, a new terminology, new thought. You cannot change it. Predicted at that time. Again, one of the famous poet, Amir Khusro, according to him, he considered Hindustan to be a geographical and a cultural diversity of the country, that is Hindustan. He did not consider himself to be a part of political boundary. Rather, he counted Hindustan to be under the geographical and cultural compacted form. Then coming to the rest, what about the rest? The rest of the area when we talk about are considered to be someone which is not in part of Hindustan. Now the area which is not a part of Hindustan, that was not considered by Minhas-Siraj or Babur, you can say, or Amir Khusro or any of the chronicler. Who are these considered? So people of these locality are considered as foreigner or we call Ajnabi, Pardesi. In person you can say Pardesi. Some person who has come from some other area, some other territory not belonging to our community or our territory. He was known as foreigner like Ajnabi or Pardesi. Someone who appeared not belonging to the society or community where you are living. Maybe a village, maybe a society, maybe a territory. Now what are the sources? When I am talking about Hindustan and different coined, this term Hindustan has been coined differently. How do I know? I came to know about the sources. What are these sources? Inscriptions. Inscriptions written on rock, older times, written on the temples, walls of temples, maybe pillars of temples. Many of the information you get from there, that is written. We come to know about it. Architecture, obviously, the type of architecture done by different rulers. Like you see Taj Mahal, Red Fort. Automatically, as soon as you see them, you can easily make out, yes, these were made by some Mughal emperors. Delhi Sultan. And coming to the archives no doubt library which keeps our all records, written documents, preserved by our earlier maybe rulers, maybe Britishers who had come to our country or territory. Other travelers can be there. Like we came to know about Minas Siraj Babur. Someone must have submitted into the archives or libraries. So we came to know about it. Rather than that, we had new social and political groups. As and when time changed, when the coming of Babur to India, or we can say Minas Siraj who came to India, these people when they came to India, they brought some new thoughts and some new ideologies, new words or new concepts they must have brought. So what they taught or what concepts they had brought, we were very well easy to absorb them. We learned so much things. Plus, what are the new? We came to be formation in different jatis, caste, clans. What we follow today? We follow different caste. We started lower caste, upper caste. That is not acceptable. But yes, we learn because new terminologies, new social and political scenario has changed. So these, what we consider foreigners, came to our country and we had new thoughts, new political grounds. We bifurcated ourselves into different jatis. Not the least, like Rajputana from the Rajput clan. But yes, one of the major changes which occurred in our political scenario of our Indian map was that the Indian political boundaries bifurcated or changed or borderline on the ground of languages like Maharashtra, Marathi speakers, Marathas, Punjab, Punjabi speakers, Karnataka, Kannada speakers, Kerala, Malayalam speakers, Jammu Kashmir, Kashmiri. So we have divided the territory as per the language we speak, or we can say the language we speak, we have given the name as per the language to that particular community or territory. We have converted this way to make ourselves more easy and more easy catching with the map or the political ground when we are going to look at the map or when we read or see or learn from it. Other than this, changes of political boundaries which I told you here just now crisis the conflicts also. Conflict, pretty simple conflicts. This boundary belongs to me because many of the people are speaking Marathi, तो ये महाराष्ट्र में आना चाहिए. You cannot have a borderline proper structure to bifurcate the land. How can you divide a land? How can you divide a border of a particular territory from the other? The conflict goes on. Because of the political formation, the conflict that started from long back is still continued. You can see Andhra Pradesh divided into Andhra and Telangana, Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh and Leh. So this is only a simple issue of political boundaries which everyone wants to satisfy his or her needs. Then new religion emerged, no doubt. Earlier we used to pray trees, few animal breeds, few gods and goddesses, that is an imaginary situation. But with the coming of same I told travelers and outsiders or foreigners, we came to know about different religion. Hinduism, Islamism, Christianity and Muslims, Jains, Buddhists. So we came to know, and as we came to know, we followed their idols. If we are satisfied with the particular guru or the teachings of that particular religion, we accepted it. We became the follower of that religion. So following that religion means we have new deities, new gods and goddesses. Some imaginary idols we started drawing, painting, sculptures, murti banana. These we started and we started praying them. Plus the mode of bhakti also changed. Rituals changed. We do yajnas, yagyas to prove our devotion towards our God. Some do calm meditation, sit quietly and meditation. Chanting we do. We do mala. Many of them pray by putting diya and just putting an idol and praying morning and evening. Tilak lagana. These things are modes of bhakti, nothing else. We show our devotion towards our deity, God or goddesses. Because of the emergence of new religion, new deities, gods and goddesses also appeared when we say. Rituals were performed, not but the least with the arrival of the travelers. The rituals, language, customs also changed. There was a fusion of culture, fusion of language, fusion of religion. So this is something which changed our scenario. So this is what we are going to learn in the upcoming chapters of our class. 1,000 years of changes that has occurred till now and may be going to, which our future generation will be reading it. Thank you. Have a nice day.